Deleted session, August 9, 1978. Now, the universe is well-intended. Its workings entail cooperative ventures literally beyond your comprehension. Ventures in which each life and each detail of each life has a purpose, a well-intended purpose, so that when it naturally seeks its own good, it also increases the good of all. You have been considering the nature of good and evil, and in your dream, you presented yourself with a capsule demonstration. It is good to eat, and each creature seeks food. In the world of nature, you say there is a hunter and a prey. And yet, in that nature world, hunter and prey are peculiarly suited to each other. The hunter is naturally equipped to kill in such and such a manner. The prey is most easily killed by such maneuvers. Despite all of your knowledge about the animals, it has not really been suspected that the natural hunter animal kills most mercifully. The animals follow the rule of good intentions, in which unconsciously, in your terms, the good of one does serve the good of all. In that framework, necessary that is meted out in such a manner that each creature understands that its own death serves a greater purpose, and further understands that there is no malice involved. To eat is good. To consume other creatures at your level of existence is nature. It is how the earth is replenished. To torture other creatures in the terms of this discussion is not at all natural. The animals, however, are embarked upon a different avenue than you. The development of tools gave man options in the way and manner of killing his prey. Your dream was an excellent rendition, for here you have men unaware of the mouse's dilemma to such an extent that it was beside the point, so taken for granted that it became invisible. The purpose to eat was good, well-intentioned, but the means were not those that would benefit all involved, for the mouse died no quick death. A cat knows how to kill a mouse, and the consciousness of the mouse knows when to leave. Certain mechanisms are triggered that are inherent. They are not triggered as easily understand conditions alien to the mouse's understanding of its and the hunter's biological natures. In a dream, you make a decision never to partake of such a feast again, and the decision simply represents the multitudinous-like decisions that are made by individual people when they finally recognize the fact that a given act, considered acceptable in the past, does not fit in with the overall intent of life at large. Such feasts were eaten often by the Arabs and the Turks. The fire was supposed to burn away any disease, and mice were all too numerous. Acts which fit in with the good-intended universe, in which basically each life and detail seeking its good, also works for the good of all others, bring forth what you call good acts. Simple enough acts which are not well-intended in that light toward the self or others do not work right. They are flawed, unpleasant. They bring pain, sorrow, or illness to the self or to others, and they are often called evil acts. In your system of reality, the other creatures cannot help but act with good intent, even if their intent is to kill their prey. Because of many reasons given throughout the material, mankind took himself out of that contact. Seemingly, he gave up a certain identification with nature, and as a result, he will finally come to appreciate it from an entirely different viewpoint. He will learn to be consciously well-intentioned. Again, simple enough. he will consciously seek his own good, not at the expense of others, for he will realize that he cannot achieve any good in that manner. You cannot kill a chicken personally now and eat it comfortably. You certainly cannot kill a cow by yourselves. Indirectly, however, you know that the slaughterhouses are cruel. The animals are not killed quickly or cleanly. And to some extent, the psychic disquiet of those animals is consumed with their meat. Animals killed quickly and cleanly make better food. On the other hand, because of your agricultural methods and so forth, many animals live through breeding, who would not live otherwise. So those creatures are given life. When man learns to approach a well-intentioned psychological environment, he will then be following the inherent nature of all realities. Acts not well-intentioned clash with the basic structures that form experience, and hence they do indeed appear in grotesque, fragmented, or distorted form, often all the more reprehensible in contrast to their stated intent. Now give us a moment. As to Ruber, first of all, he is at another stage, and one in which motion should be gently, persistently but gently encouraged. His purpose and his psychological process have led him to further activations, and as I have said several times, this means that sometimes he will feel like walking, and will do so with a relative amount of balance, and on other occasions, perhaps 20 minutes earlier or later, his walking might be uncomfortable and worse in performance. Lately, for example, this is what is happening. The right side of the neck and shoulder area is further releasing. This is teasing the right arm and shoulder blade to greater freedom, and new positions, so minute, some of them, as not to be noticed. Those same changes, however, are repeated in the right hip, the entire right leg. That knee has loosened. The ligaments, tendons, as well as muscles in the heel and ankle area are being coaxed into new activity, and in areas that have been relatively unused before, they are getting used to his weight now, hence the feeling of soreness. He also experiences feelings of release in those same areas when sitting. However, he should not forget that he has been used to putting his full weight on that right leg, so he is more aware of the sensations. He has a tendency then to favor it for a while. The left knee has also loosened, and the entire back of the left leg. The altered position of the right leg, however, means that the left leg is also uncomfortable when he walks. It tries to release further, but the unconstant new positions of the right ankle make him feel insecure. The arms have gained further lengthened, and the shoulder blades are pulling apart more. It is not just leavening, however, that is required, for the released muscles must learn to operate in new ways, and this has to do with the joints as well. His physical progress then is excellent. He has been exercising because he wants to. Let him give himself the opportunity, as he has been, to walk twice a day, as far as he wants, or as briefly, just so he allows the opportunity for his own peace of mind. But do not force the body. You will not need to. Now he tries to walk when you are in the kitchen so as not to bother you, but there will be times when he will want to and can simply call. The gentle encouragement and the gentle stretching of the legs in his chair is excellent. They will gradually loosen and take his weight. And now, after this waiting session, I bid you a fond good evening, with the point that the eyes should show more improvement now as the neck ligaments are loosening. End of session, unless you have a question. Now, are you saying that my dream had reincarnational connotations? I wondered about it when I wrote it down, but I didn't say so. Say said, I am saying if you ask me, and you have not, that your dream contained some important insights into your own questions, and that you might have interpreted it yourself. Ra said, well, I think I did to some extent. Say said, you could have meditated upon it. You do not appreciate your own dream, or your appreciation of it is too remote. And yes, it does contain some recognitional data, for it shows you a moment in a life when a decision was made, even though the emotional disgust that you felt at the time was separated from you. For the mouse at the time stood not only for itself, but also for the victims of war, burned bodies you had seen while soldiers went about the remains to see what loot might be left. See what else you can get on your own. Ra said, thank you. They said, end of session and a fond good evening. One small note that occurred to me, for whatever reasons. I will not discuss them now. Robert did not feel particularly that you needed or wanted his physical help in matters that you could perform more effectively by yourself. To the contrary, he felt that he got in your way, got underfoot, and that you preferred to do without such help. He did not feel encouraged in those directions in the kitchen. This was the result of his own situation, of course, and yet it is also a symptom of the joint situation as each of you set it up. For as he abdicated responsibilities, so you rationalized your fears and did not encourage that kind of activity to the extent that you might have. End of session. Ra said, thank you.